There's no farmland, no expensive seeds, no irrigation system, no fertilizer. And yet, this single potato will feed a family. For years. Beat. Not metaphorically, not in theory. Literally, provably, repeatedly. And the strangest part? Most farmers already know this method exists. They just stopped using it. What you're looking at is called chitted propagation cycling, or what old-timers simply called seed banking from your harvest. The idea is brutal in its simplicity. You don't buy new seeds every season. You grow potatoes from potatoes, then from those potatoes, then from those potatoes. Forever. Zero cost after the first one, zero trips to the store. One potato becomes 10, 10 become 100, 100 becomes a year's worth of food. The whole setup? A patch of dirt and a little patience. That's it. This isn't some backyard blogger's experiment. The Incas mastered this system over 7,000 years ago in the Andes. They built entire civilizations on it. During World War II, British families kept this exact method alive in Victory Gardens. No supermarkets, no supply chains, just soil and a recycled tuber. In rural Ireland, before the famine, before monoculture farming destroyed everything, families used a version of this every single year, generation to generation. Soviet farmers called their private plots priusadebne uchastki, tiny, unofficial, using recycled seed potatoes. Those plots produced nearly 30% of all Soviet food on less than 3% of the farmland. This method isn't fringe, it's ancient, it's proven. And it works. So why don't more people know this? Here's the honest answer. When you regrow potatoes from your own harvest, you never buy seeds again. Not once, not ever. And the seed potato industry, a multi-billion-dollar global market, doesn't love that. Certified seed potatoes are sold every single season. That's the model. That's the revenue. Keep farmers dependent on a supply chain they can't escape. They started pushing a narrative that saving and replanting your own potatoes spreads disease, that only certified seeds are safe. And look, disease is real. We'll cover that. But the fix is simple, and the knowledge of how to do it correctly, it quietly vanished from school curricula, from agriculture textbooks, from government extension programs. Not because it doesn't work, because it works too well. You've seen this your whole life and never realized what you were looking at. That potato at the back of your pantry, the one you forgot about, the one growing little white sprouts in the dark, that's not a ruined potato. That's a potato trying to be a farm. That's a living organism doing exactly what it's designed to do: propagate, multiply, survive. You've been throwing away free harvests for years. Here's the mechanism in plain language. A potato is not a root. It's a stem, an underground storage organ packed with energy, water, and nutrients. Those eyes you see, those are dormant buds, growth nodes. Each eye contains the full genetic blueprint to grow an entire new plant, an entire new potato crop. The mother potato feeds the sprout for its first few weeks of life, acting like a battery, while the new root system establishes itself. Then the new plant takes over. It grows, it flowers. Underground, it creates a dozen new potatoes, and each of those has eyes. The cycle never has to stop. It is, in biological terms, a self-perpetuating food machine. Here's exactly how to do it. Step 1. Choose your starter potato. Don't run to a store. Open your pantry. Find a potato that's already beginning to sprout. Those little white nubs are your green light. Organic potatoes work best because conventional ones are sometimes treated with a sprout inhibitor. If you don't have one, any grocery store organic potato works fine. Cost? $0 or under $1. Step 2. Chitting. This is the forgotten part. Place your potato in a cool, bright spot, not direct sunlight. An egg carton works perfectly. Let it sit for 2 to 4 weeks. You're waiting for the eyes to develop into sturdy, dark green or purple sprouts about ½ inch to 1 inch long. Longer sprouts, weaker plants. Shorter ones, stronger roots. This stage is called chitting, and skipping it is why most people get weak results. Step 3. Cut and cure. If your potato has multiple strong eyes, you can cut it into pieces, 1 or 2 eyes per piece. Let the cut pieces sit out for 24 to 48 hours in open air. A dry, slightly hardened skin forms over the cut surface. This is called callusing. It protects against rot in the ground. Don't skip this. Step 4. Plant shallow, not deep. Dig down about 4 inches. Place your piece eye side up. Cover it loosely. Potatoes hate being packed in. They need air pockets to expand into. Step 5. Hill as they grow. As green shoots emerge, pile more soil up around the base of the plant, leaving just the top leaves exposed. Do this 2 or 3 times as the plant grows. Every inch of buried stem can form new potatoes. More hilling, more harvest. Step 6. At harvest, save your best. When plants die back and you dig up your potatoes, don't eat them all. Choose the healthiest looking ones, medium-sized, no soft spots, no obvious damage. These are next season's seed potatoes. From one potato, you'll harvest 8 to 15. Save 2 to 3. Eat the rest. Then repeat. Forever. Here's what most people get wrong. Mistake 1, planting store-bought conventional potatoes directly. Conventional grocery potatoes are often sprayed with chlorprofam, a chemical that suppresses sprouting. Your potato will sit in the ground doing nothing. Use organic or let conventional sit long enough for the chemical to break down. Mistake 2, planting immediately after purchase. No chitting, no callusing. People just throw them in the ground and wonder why they get nothing but rot. Give them time to wake up first. Mistake 3, saving diseased seed stock. This is where the real disease risk lives. Don't save potatoes with dark rings inside when cut, soft spots, or unusual discoloration. Healthy seed stock produces healthy crops. Diseased seed stock spreads problems. The fix isn't to buy certified seeds every year. It's to inspect what you save. Mistake 4, ignoring rotation. Don't plant potatoes in the same soil 2 years in a row. Pathogens build up. Move them around your garden space. Even a simple 2-plot rotation breaks the cycle. Simple fixes, common knowledge once upon a time. Let's talk real numbers. A single healthy seed potato produces on average 8 to 15 potatoes per plant in a single season. Plant 10 pieces from one potato, you've just created the potential for 80 to 150 potatoes. Save 10 of those for the next season's seeds. Year 2, plant those 10. You now have the potential for 800 to 1,500 potatoes. A family of 4 needs roughly 300 to 400 pounds of potatoes per year to make them a meaningful food source. At that scale, you need roughly 30 to 40 plants. From one potato in 2 seasons, you have more than enough seed stock to feed a family. And the land required? A space roughly 10 by 20 feet. That's a parking space. That's a corner of a backyard. That's a row of containers on a patio. Scale is entirely optional. You can do this in a grow bag on an apartment balcony or across an acre. The math works either way. But what about blight? What about disease? Isn't that why we have certified seed potatoes? Fair question. Let's answer it honestly. Blight, specifically late blight, the pathogen Phytophthora infestans, is real and devastating. The Irish famine was caused by it. But here's the important nuance. Blight travels through the air, not primarily through seed potatoes. It blows in from neighboring infected crops. What certified seed potatoes actually protect against is viral diseases, like potato virus Y, which do spread through planting stock. The defense? Inspect your seed potatoes when you cut them. Healthy flesh, no ring discoloration, firm texture. Save only the best. And if you ever have a bad season with obvious disease, don't save from that crop. Start fresh with a clean organic potato from the store. That's the complete defense. No certification required. Here's something to sit with. The Andean peoples of South America didn't just grow potatoes. They understood potatoes at a genetic level centuries before modern agriculture existed. They developed over 3,000 distinct varieties, each adapted to a different microclimate, a different altitude, a different rain pattern. They built a system called the Papa Amarga, bitter potato preservation, where high-altitude, naturally freeze-dried potatoes called chuño could be stored for up to 10 years without refrigeration. They practiced what we'd now call decentralized food sovereignty. Every community, every family, its own seed bank, its own food security. When the Spanish arrived, they didn't understand what they were looking at. They took the potato back to Europe as a curiosity. It took another 150 years before Europeans realized it could feed an entire continent. The knowledge was always there, hidden in plain sight, a wrinkled underground stem that the whole world eventually built itself around. There's something deeply unsettling about realizing that food, the most fundamental thing a human being needs, has been quietly made complicated, made dependent, made something you purchase every season from a system you can't opt out of. And there's something equally radical about realizing it doesn't have to be, that a single organism, placed in dirt, given time and care, will multiply endlessly, that this knowledge is older than writing, older than money, older than borders. We didn't forget this by accident. We were just never reminded, and now you have been. If this changed the way you see something as simple as a potato, imagine what else we've been taught to forget. Drop a comment with one word: soil. That's how I'll know you actually understand what this is about. And if someone in your life gardens, grows food, or just cares about